Welcome back to another Lettuce Garden scripting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a gun dealer to your game. So if I walk up to this gun dealer right here, I can see that it's selling me a pistol and speed potion. And we set up the system so that if I buy the pistol, which we label as a persistent item, if my character dies or rejoins the game, I will always have that pistol. And then we have consumable items like this speed potion, where if my character dies or I rejoin the game, I have to rebuy it, but I can also buy multiple of them. So if you're interested in making this system, make sure you stick around. If you are looking for help or you want the assets for this, we have links for our Discord server and website in the description. I hope you enjoy the video. Before you get started working on this system, make sure you check out our item shop tutorial because we're going to be reusing a lot of the assets from that to make this video much quicker and easier to follow. So once you have those assets, make sure that you are in the game with all of them. So you have your tools, your UI and everything within here. And as well, make sure you turn on Studio Access to API Services in your security. So game setting security enables Studio Access to API Services. And this lets our currency system and inventory system work properly. Once you have both of those things done, let's come over to the Avatar tab and click Rig Builder. And we can add in a new avatar. Now, if you are making a game, you might already have an avatar that you want to be your gun dealer. So you can use that avatar. However, I don't have one ready, so I'm just going to use one from the generator here. But yeah, you can use whatever NPC you want for this. We're going to rename this guy Gun Dealer. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to design the UI that's going to pop up. And the main difference between the item shop and the gun dealer UI here is I want the gun dealer UI to appear right beside the person rather than taking up the whole screen like the normal item shop does. So we can do that using what's called a billboard GUI. And a billboard GUI is something that you can attach to an instance, so it follows that instance around. So let me show you what I mean. In Starter GUI here, we can click the plus button and add in a new billboard GUI. Click this, and let's add in a frame. And we don't see anything right now, but that's okay because we haven't set it up yet. There's this one property here called Adorni. And what we can do is we can click the empty space right beside it, and then click on our gun dealer in the Explorer. And then we can check the always on top box. And now we see that our frame is now on top of our NPC here. Now the sizing's a bit weird, so let's solve that. So with our frame, let's set the size to be 1, 1. So 1 in the X, 1 in the scale. Sorry, 1 in the Y, 1 in the X for scale. And for our billboard GUI, I'm going to give it a size of 300 in the offset. And the reason why we're doing this with offset instead of scale like we normally do is no matter how far away I get from my gun dealer now, this UI keeps the exact same size on the screen. If we did something using scale, the UI would, let me give you a better example. So the UI, we can make it really big when we're close to the player, and then we can also make it get smaller as we move away. But for this system, I want it to stay a consistent size because it's going to make our UI easier to follow. So I like the size 300 for this. And what we can do now is we can move it off to the side so it's not blocking our NPC. So we have a property here called extents offset. If we set this to around 2, we'll see that the UI always stays right beside our NPC, but never actually covers it. So our shop is always going to be off to the side, and that's what we want. And now we can actually start designing our shop. And this is where the item shop tutorial is going to come in like very handy because we're going to basically copy and paste the whole thing into this. So let's first set the background color and give it a 0.3 transparency. And then we're going to open up our item shop and we're going to copy everything within the frame. So copy literally everything and place it inside of our new frame. And we're also going to copy the item script and paste that inside our billboard GUI as well. Let's rename our billboard GUI now to Gun Dealer UI and rename item script to Gun Dealer script. And one thing we have to do too is you can see that this X button is kind of, it's being cut off, right? And that's because billboard GUIs have a property here called Clips Descendants enabled by default. We can just uncheck that box and our close button now shows up properly. And before we actually make this UI function the way we want it to function, I'm going to also set up another script that gives us a prompt on the NPC to open up this UI. So in our in our starter player here, in starter player scripts, we have our old shopkeeper script. Let's duplicate that, hitting Control D on your keyboard and name it Gun Dealer. And within this script now, we can open it up and we can change everything that says shopkeeper to Gun Dealer. So local Gun Dealer equals workspace find first child Gun Dealer. Instead of saying shop here, we want it to say Gun Dealer. And we want to parent our prompt to Gun Dealer. And rather than setting enabled of our item shop to true, we want to set enabled of our Gun Dealer UI to true. All right, so now that's all set up. We can close out this script. And actually, we're ready to test this script out. So let's actually come up to our Gun Dealer UI once again and turn off enabled by default so it's not showing up when we join the game. And let's spawn in and see what happens. All right, so we can walk up to our Gun Dealer here and click open. And our UI actually pops up here. And because we've copied our scripts and we set up our scripts in the right way originally, I can just buy items already. Like, it's super quick to set up. So the last thing we're going to do in this video actually is we're going to make it so you can customize the items that show up in the shop, because you might not want every item here, right? You might only want a rocket launcher and a speed potion and not everything else. So we're going to come up to our folder here called Item Shop and Replicated Storage. And we're going to add in a new module script. And this is going to be called Gun Dealer Data. If you can delete all of that. And we're going to click return, we're going to type return. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in the persistent and consumable data here, like we did in the other script. So persistent equals that, and consumables equals this. And basically what we're going to do here is, in our shop data, we have these unique names for all of our items. So I want to sell a persistent pistol. So what I'm going to do in Gun Dealer Data is I'm going to write pistol in quotation marks inside the persistent table. And inside of consumables, I want to sell a speed potion. So I'm going to write in speed potion inside our consumables table. So basically, the words that we write inside the tables correspond to the unique names in our shop data module under the same category. And once we've done this, we can come back to our Gun Dealer script and make some edits. So this script, as it currently stands, is identical to our current shop script. So we have to make some edits here. So let's import our Gun Dealer data. So Gun Dealer data equals require item shop.gun dealer data. And here, for the items, rather than getting the items from shop data, we're going to get the items from Gun Dealer data. However, this leaves us with a small problem because our loop is depending on a unique name and item info. And this works for our shop data. So we have our unique name here and then our item info. But for our Gun Dealer data, all we have is the unique name. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put a underscore in where unique name used to be and change item info to unique name. And then we can say here, local item info equals shop data category unique name. So remember then here, I misspelled unique name actually. So let me fix that. So when we generate the buttons in our UI, we call this add buttons to frame method here, and we pass in the category. So consumables, or persistent. So, and we get this as the category variable here. So when we want to access the shop data info to get the price and the item names and stuff like that, we can just say shop data category unique name, and that gives us the actual information we're looking for. So now when we test out the game, we should only see a pistol and speed potion in our gun dealer shop. So let's test this out. And we will walk up to our gun dealer and open it up. And there we go. So we see a speed potion and a pistol, and I can buy both of these items. And yeah, that's how we make a gun dealer system using our previously created shop system. If you have any questions, head on over to our Discord server. And if you need help with anything or you want the assets, check out the link in the description to our website where you can download the assets. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And if you don't like the video, please leave a comment telling me how I can improve these videos for you. I hope to see you in the next video.